So for the creation of my film movie poster, I had to choose 3 images that I wanted to include within it, and then I'd blend them all together. So in order to choose these 3 photos, I went into my iPhoto library and clicked on one which I had chosen and done a shoot specifically for this poster. Then I chose another 2 that I had taken in the past, which I thought really fit the criteria of the poster that I wanted to make and would look really good. I also needed to change the effects on this, so I went into the effects and then filters on iPhoto, and I chose a filter called Noir. I liked how it made this quite rustic and vintage look, and it looked quite scruffy, which I found really fit the poster that I wanted. I also did the same on the other picture. To then place these pictures in the poster, I had to go to the file and then place, where I selected 3 different photos from my library. This was quite easy to do. I then wanted to blend all these photos together, so I decided to look up how to do this on YouTube, and I went into the FX place, which I'm about to do in a minute. So here you can see all the things that I used. So here I used Basic Feather, and this basically buffed around the edges of the photo to make it look like they all blended far more together. So it's the feather width that I increased and decreased in order to get the right amount that I wanted. This was also quite easy to do. I did the same on the other one, and then for the centre picture I decided to increase the transparency so you could see the pictures behind that one, which even though this was the main image, I wanted you to be able to see everything together, as I thought that looked quite professional, as a lot of film posters have that. I then decided to work on the title of my film, which would be at the bottom of my poster. I did this by creating a text box and typing in the word fixation. I then adjusted the font of that word and how big I wanted the word to be on the page. I then decided to use different effects on the word fixation to make it look like quite a cool and professional movie poster. You can see here that I used a number of different effects to get the look that I wanted, and I messed around with this quite a few times to finally get what I wanted. You will see here that I used gradient feather, inner glow, outer glow, inner shadow and drop shadow. Here I'll show you how these worked in order to create the title. So the inner glow didn't make much of a difference, but it kind of just brought out the text even more so. The drop shadow made it a lot more intense, and the gradient feather was similar to the pictures and helped it fade across the whole of the poster, which I thought looked really realistic actually and quite cool. It was then time to create my taglines, so I used 2 text boxes and I moved them around a bit to decide where I wanted them, but I thought they both looked really quite good here, as they're both quite symmetrical lines and above the title looked good. I also did the same for the date of the release of the film, and I had to be quite selective with the font that I chose for these, as I wanted to make it look as realistic as possible. I then had my first draft of my movie poster, which I'm just about to show you, which I did like, but as you can see now, it did not look as professional or as good as I wanted, because I hadn't edited the main image how I wanted. So I decided to then go on a editing software on my Google Chrome, which I didn't think I'd find a good one, but actually I came across a really good website which allowed me to do lots of things. Unfortunately, I'm able to show you the process due to you only being able to do it once as free. So here I would upload the picture from my computer, and then once I'd selected which one I wanted, it enabled me to do lots of different things, including touch up the whole face, the whole eye makeup of the model, make her eyes more blue, her lips more red, and her eye makeup darker. This made the picture look so much more intense and actually really good. I also used an effect on iPhoto, which helps me change the temperature of the picture. So I then decided to use a different type of editing in iPhoto, where I first of all actually went on the filters to see whether I'd like any of those, and later found on that I didn't. I thought they were all a bit too harsh and kind of ruined the effect of the picture. So I went on adjustments and changed the lighting, the colour, and through the colour, it didn't actually show up on here, but I changed the temperature and made it a lot more blue toned. I did this because I found when researching lots of different thriller posters that this was commonly used, as I don't know why, but it almost creates a bit more of an eerie, sort of a bit scary effect. as it's not what a viewer normally sees, and it kind of sucks out all like the fun and life of a picture. Which, although it sounds a bit strange, it actually looked really good, and I'm really glad I did this in the end because I think it really made the poster. So after this, I just moved around lots of different text box to try and find where I really wanted everything after adding the characters' names at the top of the poster. I thought these looked good here, and I was going to add a drop shadow to those, but I thought they looked better just as they are. So I then exported this when I was happy with it and saved it as a JPEG. And yeah, after I did that, it took a while to export, but afterwards it was done, and I was really happy with the final result of my poster.